Hey guys, so I'm starting to plane the wood that I have in there because I need to get this wood pile out here so I can bring my vehicle in and stuff, and I don't need to have this linger until winter. Now, I'll show you some of the wood as I go, how good it looks. I just did one board that's red oak, and you can see how nice the grain is in there. There is a knot in that one though, but it doesn't matter because I got a nice flat board. So I'm just using that grizzly planer there. And I'm not even going after exactly a 3/4 inch board at this point because I have so many. Right now I just want to get them planed, and the reason I want them planed is because when you plane the wood, it will lay flatter than if you have all that rough cut on it. I mean, the rough cut from a bandsaw isn't near as bad as it is from a circular saw, but nonetheless, it still has a little bit of fluffy stuff on it that keeps it from laying nice. So I don't want that. I want to get it so that it's cleaned up good. Now a planer only cuts, like this size, only cuts between a 1/16. It'll cut less, but it'll only cut the maximum about 1/8 of an inch. So 1/8 of an inch when you're having rough cut boards, it's not exactly the minimum that you need to plane off. So it's usually taking 2 runs on each side. Now this side of the board is clear for all intents and purposes, and it's looking pretty good. The opposite side, I can't even tell that it's red oak until I plane it. First pass, it's only planing here and there, but it's still knocking it down so it's straight. Once the board's nice and flat, then you can get a good pass out of it. Alright, this is what's $8 a board foot when you have clear wood like this. You can see how clear that red oak is. It's very beautiful. So that's what I'm shooting for, to have stuff that all looks like that. Now, I'm not even separating the piles anymore between some with knots and some without, because I don't have enough room on my property to separate all this stuff unless I build more buildings. And at the moment, I don't have time to do it. But anyway, beautiful, very nice red oak. I thought this was actually white oak, but it ended up being red oak. This one has a pretty bad cut in here. I think I'm going to either cut this or just get rid of this. It's not worth my time to go around cleaning it. Same thing with this one. It's got a split down the middle. Then it was cut at the pit. This is a nice board here. Now this board has a little bit of wane on the opposite side, but you can see how nice the wood is in it. So I can easily cut a better plank out of this, but I'm not interested in cutting the plank or anything right now. All I'm interested in is just getting it plain so that they lay smooth, so they stay dry. I'm not walking over there, Sally. I'm tired enough. Just set it right there, right where you're at. To tell you the truth, I like this planer, but I like the Black & Decker one better because of the roller on top. Or not the Black & Decker, what is that thing? I forget the brand name, but anyway, I like that one better because it doesn't, it has a roller on the top to get the wood back to where you started. Someone had wrote me a message the other day, a comment, and they said that something about planing it, and that if you put pressure on the planer, you actually take the cup out of the wood. You might be able to do that with some woods, but you're not doing that with red oak. Besides, the planer only goes down 1/8 of an inch. So once you get to the guide being on the wood, there's no further that you can go. So that isn't true what he had said to me. See, like right now, on both sides, there's about 1/8 of an inch there. So when I bring this up, there's a center section on here that stops you from putting a big piece of wood in there. So right now I can only go to that center piece. So it doesn't matter if it's cupped or not. What it does is it cuts the cup off and flattens out the board on one side only. It does not compress the board enough to flatten the whole board out. Now I'm not saying that that can't happen. I'm just saying that's not the norm. The board's not bad, but it has a couple of checks and stuff down through it. I'm going to plane it one more time and put it in the file. So what I'm saying is, the comment was this: when you have a cup in the board and you put pressure from the planer, he's saying that that pressure flattens the board out, and when you take it out of the planer it goes back up. That's not true, because you can only get 1/8 of an inch to cut off of here. So even if you went down 1/8 of an inch, you're still flattening the board out when you put the next piece in and you Okay guys, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, or because I see the camera battery was dead. You see the middle of this thing where my finger is just about touching the board there. So I could crank this just a little bit to bring that up. On this side you can see it's not. This thing cuts up to about 1/8 of an inch, okay? And that metal piece in there does not allow you to tighten it any further than that. So it does. The comment that I had gotten the other day where they were saying that the plane presses a cup out of a board is not true. I mean, it can only do it if it does it, it's 1/8 of an inch. But the point is, you can't tighten the planer up that much. That's the whole point. The planer should be able to only tighten up, you know, within that 1/8 of an inch. And as you plane it and you bring it back, you'll know whether it's cupping or not the next time you put it through the planer. You can tell when it's straight. So that's all I'm trying to say about how the planer works. Planer does not take the cup out. You would think that it might, but it really doesn't, because the wood's just too tough. The board is a little thinner than it is right at that edge. So you just push down hard against the table and you try and bring that as close as you can to be able to make the cut. You can see the board's getting thinner in the middle. And that's okay, because it's straightening out the cut. bottom that I just turned over there is fairly flat. So when I go to put that through, pretty much all the way across the board. Now this board's not completely done yet because there's a couple places where it hit and did not hit. So we're just going to put it across here again. You know, I'm holding this down so I can see how much I can come up or down. Right there. We're going to run it through again. Side's good, now I got to do the opposite side. So again, I'm just holding it down there, looking at this, and seeing what I can bring up. Running that through, you could tell that it stopped cutting there for a second in the middle. So all I want to do is run it through one more time and make sure that I have all of it cleaned up here. Oak is really nice. Now you can see how much has to be cut off of that. Now this has a crown in the middle, okay? So I'm going to bring the plane down to that. It's touching in the middle. You can see it's pretty far off on the edges. Just because it's fairly flat. You can see this edge is touching, it's not over here, so this might not cut. you could see what was happening there. I couldn't watch the camera and do this at the same time. But anyway, I'm just trying to show you that you're not taking the cup out with the pressure of the planer. Now, the planers at a mill, they might, because of the way they're set up, they may be able to push the cup out, but that's not what these little planers are doing. Okay guys, I'm going to just keep on going. I've got a lot to do yet. Have a good one. Okay guys, so what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So roughly 10, 20, or 21 boards I planed. And they don't look bad. Some of them are not great. Those two on the top there, those are, I'm going to give them for firewood. But these look not bad. They have a good face on them. So, and there's pieces in there that you can cut out. There are a couple of them that are clear, like this one here, all the way up through there. That one here has a knot in it. But even so, it's still red oak and it's still good wood. And like I was showing you with the house yesterday, with yesterday's video, or this morning's video, you can't beat taking the wood, cutting it, finishing it, drying it, and molding it, and then using it. That's where your money goes. And it's money well spent, because you can cut it and everything else a lot cheaper than you can buy it. Unless somebody's just trying to give it away because they're broke already. Well, I took the planer in. I'm going to clean this up here quick. Then that's it for the day for me. It's around 4:30 I've had it. It's Saturday. Oh, have a good one.